I am one of the founding members and life member of the GOA Association of New South Wales. I wish the association a happy 35th anniversary. I arrived in Australia in 1971 at a time when Australia was dismantling the White Australia policy. I landed in Sydney. I found Sydney to be a very big city, but there were very few people on the streets and certainly no Asians around. Within 2 years, the government had changed hands. The Whitlam government came into power and the immigration laws were even further relaxed. At the same time in Uganda, the Goans there were kicked out by Idi Amin. The arrival of Goans into Australia was a welcome sign. I went and met them in Coogee. The association had its humble beginnings in October 1976 at my place when I threw a barbecue party to family and friends. What happened at this party is important because it led to the formation of the association. We discussed about social life in Africa, and we also discussed the social life in Sydney. Social life in Sydney was non-existent. Therefore, we decided to have a dance. I agreed to organize the dance. But first I had to find out if there was a sufficient demand or numbers that we could bank on. This was easy. Within a few phone calls, there was a demand. And Carol, who was at home with a young family, did the hard work of taking down names and addresses of those who wanted to come. I soon found that it was a big task and I could not manage it on my own. So I organized a committee. The first committee met at my place in Turella, Sydney, and those present were Alvito Coutinho, John Sequeira, Tony Fernandez, Carol and myself. But we still needed more people so that the message went around. At the second committee meeting, we had 4 more people. There was Lawrence Fernandez and Alvito Fernandez, Joseph de Souza and Gwen de Souza. The dance was a huge success. It was the first time ever that a Goan gathering had taken place in Sydney. It made a profit of $86.95, which was set aside for future use, and it was eventually used to offset expenses for the association. At the dance, opinion was that we should form an association. The prime mover in this direction was John Sequeira, who said it was better to have it now rather than later. Accordingly, on the 25th of January 1977, as the convener of the meeting, I sent out notices to all the Goans whose names and addresses I had with me, informing them that a meeting was to take place on the 27th of February 1977. The purpose of at Concord Memorial Hall. The purpose of the meeting was to discuss the formation of the association. The letter also stated that the account would be circulated. The general body meeting set out its own main objectives. It also fixed the fees, the subscription fees for the year. For the election, I was nominated as the president, but I did not accept, but I accepted the position of the General Secretary. Our main task during that first year was to register the association, set an agenda, write out a constitution, a social program, and introduce a newsletter. We managed to do all these during the first year. Finally, I would like to thank the President, Tony Colasso, and his committee for giving me this opportunity to speak on the origins of this association. In conclusion, I would like to express my gratitude to all those who were involved in whatever manner, however big or small, in forming this association. Thank you.